Good morning, Lovaii, and welcome to New York.
Well, thank you so much.
It's great to have you here. We've been talking a lot about these issues concerning families with cross-border, and it's like more like now it's a norm than an exception that families will have somebody in one country or in another country. Recently, actually, to tell you, we heard. I met somebody that kid is a US citizen, but he was born in Singapore and is currently residing in UK. Okay.
Wow.
And but because of his parents being a US citizens, he's a US citizen. And a lot of rules will then apply to them. So what are the things that you're seeing in India, in Bangalore and across the country in India amongst people with cross-border families, and what are the needs that they have?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of these issues have sort of cropped up in possibly the last decade. And more and more people from India are definitely going abroad for studies or work and then staying there. Actually going with an intention to come back and then saying, no, halfway through I change my mind, I want to be there. And also it has sort of coincided with the time of the global financial crisis, which led to governments and the regulatory bodies in each of the countries to say, consumer protection, customer, investor protection is a big thing.
Yeah.
And so therefore they've tried to cover them by saying that if you are offering advice in my country, then you better be licensed, registered there. And unfortunately, what happens is that there are not enough people that you can come across who are able to connect with professionals in different countries, because I'm sure you've seen this, we've seen it together, that there are clients who are US citizens, have been in India for many, many years, retaining their citizenship, but they are residents in India.
Yeah.
So there is a tax implication on their investment. There is an implication on currency depending on where their goals are. There is a reporting requirement. They need to worry about estate taxes.
Yes.
Right? It applies in one country, doesn't apply at the moment in India.
Yes.
And when they go to any of the big consulting firms seem to have very clear jurisdictions mapped out.
Right.
So the guy in India will say, no, you can't do this because, I am not allowed to talk about it. The US firm guy will, surprisingly, they're the same firm, but they'll not talk to,
they won't talk with
each other. But we talk, right? So I think the key thing is to be able to find professionals who can sort of jointly have conversations with the client and say, okay, this is your total need. This much will be done in the US, this should be done in India, and this is how the tax implication is, this is how the investment implication is. And then, individual pieces can be handled by each individual advisor.
Yeah.